direction of the government, and it's a little bit longer. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, it's with immense pleasure that I address the August House on the occasion marking the opening of the second session of the first revitalized Transitional Assembly of Central Equatoria State. The opening of this second session comes when the principles of the revitalized agreement on the resolution of conflict in the Republic of South Sudan have prudently signed the roadmap to guide the country towards the path of lasting peace and democratic elections. On this note, I'm profoundly indebted to salute and congratulate Excellent General Salva Kiir Mayardit, the President of the Republic of South Sudan, His Excellency Dr. Yangwa Charteng, the first Vice President, and all the Vice President, all the signatories for their resolute commitment to agreeing willingly on the roadmap to chart out a smooth transition to a free, fair, and credible elections. Their firm commitment to the implementation of the RCs is a restoration of sanity to the country and our determined people by striving to put an end to the perennial vicious cycle of conflict in our state and in particular, and the country at large. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, on behalf of the people and government of Central Equatoria, I'm delighted to welcome you, the honorable members, back from the recess and extend my sincere greetings to you all in this very important occasion. I strongly believe the opening of this second session of the August House brings with this renewed spirit to advance our vision of a united, peaceful, and prosperous state. I believe that for those of you who are, of course, people-centered, have encountered in person with our people in various consistencies and come in terms with the plight they have endured due to unbearable suffering inflicted on them by the absence of peace in some instances. Therefore, the information we have obtained on the state of our people should be highlighted clearly to help guide, formulate policies, and enact legislation that address the identified challenges facing our state. I'm confident that you will execute your respective mandate of representation, oversight, and legislation with due diligence to maintain the decorum of this celebrated house, to contribute towards improving the welfare of our people as well as smooth functioning of the state government. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the state government is committed to advancing the dignity, transparency, and the sovereignty of our people. We are dedicated to promoting the good image of the state as we implement the RRCs in the spite of the challenges facing us as a government. The parties constituting my government have maintained the collegial spirit because our zeal to serve our people transcends the tenets of party affiliations. It is my wish that this Honorable August House conduct its business in the same spirit of the RRCs. I believe that there is no one thing that unites all the members in this August House. This is the desire to make a genuine difference in our people's lives. In a special way, I take this opportunity to acknowledge the noble role played by our youth and women who have contributed to the restoration of peace and stability in our state. As we all know, our youth have been engaged in positive activities such as sports, cultural festivals, wrestling, among others. And I want to congratulate the state wrestling team represented by our gallant and one of our team from Terkeka County, and Yei joint staff for bringing pride to Central Equatoria State as promoters of peace. Congratulations to all of them. The sport activities have greatly contributed to peace building in our societies and the state at large. My government will strive to continue supporting sports and cultural activities that promote the cultural peace and unity. Mr. Speaker, this great sons and daughters of this state, when they went to Lake State for wrestling, they became number one. We have to congratulate them. This is our pride. And joint star of Yei, I think these are ladies also. They did wonders and they are now in East Africa, they are playing across the world. That's the pride of our state. Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable members, the inauguration of the second session of August House today is preceded by a launching of the State Development Plan, which contains our major intervention anchored on the following key transitional pillars for peace through development. 1. Security stabilization and peace building. 2. Economic recovery through agriculture and investment. 3. Access to social service and justice system. 4. Dignified return, resettlement, integration of refugees and internal displaced persons. 5. Good neighborhoodness. 6. Keeping Juba city and urban centers clean, green, and safe. These priority pillars focus on achieving sustainable peace through development towards a united, peaceful, and prosperous state as our motto. Our steadfast commitment to the implementation of these priority areas has led to the realization of relative peace and security, which is addressing in actual and in anticipation of the aspiration of our people. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, we are still confronted with numerous challenges that are derailing our efforts to total peace and stability, which I have summed up as big 5 challenges. And you have just highlighted some of them. 1, that is the roaming of armed cattle herders. Number 2, the presence of hold-up groups. Number 3, economic hardships. Number 4, land grabbing. And 5, border encroachment. Mr. Speaker, number 1, the aggressive armed cattle herders have been a major threat to peace and livelihood of our people. They committed numerous atrocities against our people across the state, which include the destruction of farms, intimidations, raping, forceful displacement of our people, and murder of more than 50 innocent citizens across the state, particularly in the areas of Ngangala, Nyergebe, Lire, Lobonok, Liwolo, Kopera, Diameza, Onduruba, Mangala, Dolo, Tore, among others. There are many places. Number 2, the non-compliance of the holdout groups to join the peace wagon is holding some of our areas hostage. This has made it difficult for our displaced population and those in refuge to return to their homelands. In some instances, the holdout groups continue to lay ambushes against our people and kidnap civilians. They kidnapped the head chief of Watoko Payam, executive chiefs of Mbase and Lujulo, among others. Only 2 weeks ago, they released the head chief of Watoko and other 3 civilians who were received by the Honorable Commissioner of Yei River County after nearly 7 months of uncalled for detention. The economic hardships, which are excavated by multiple factors such as the post-COVID-19 pandemic effects, low levels of agriculture production due to insecurity, inflation, climatic change, and other factors beyond our control, made it difficult for our people to meet the cost of living. This has contributed to the rise in criminal activities such as gang groups, niggers, Toronto, bad boys, and many others that have emerged, especially in Juba City, Juba, and Yei River counties. These groups are continuing crimes such as theft, murder, suicide, among others. The population explosion in the state as a result of insecurity in other states coupled with high value of land for commercial and other uses have heightened land grabbing, particularly in Juba County and Juba City. Some of the areas affected include Mangala, Rajab, Luri, Lado, Payams, to mention but a few. There are rampant cases of land grabbing and other land-related malpractice that have contributed to insecurity across the state. Border encroachment. Honorable members, there is encroachment into our territory, especially in Kajukeji County, by the Ugandan citizens, and in Morobo and Yei River counties by the Congolese in violation of international borders. In the beginning of last month, our community of Bamure in Kajukeji County was involved in confrontation with our neighboring communities of Moyo when they came and settled in Bamure Primary School and other parts, Yumbe, Terego, and Marachi, and Kobogo district of Uganda. The dispute erupted when an organized group of Ugandan citizens in the border areas were carried in trucks and dumped in the Koiba village of Bamure, Boma. Earlier, we registered several cases of systematic encouragement in areas of Kiriwa, Agio, Goboro, and many others. And I want to thank the members of Parliament, Mr. Speaker of Kajukeji, for speaking up on these issues. Thank you, honorable members from Kajukeji. I saw your press statement. Right, honorable Speaker, on the 6th of February, 2023, I temporarily shifted my government to Kajukeji County in the aftermath of massacre of over 27 innocent civilians by armed cattle herders from Bor County. Thereafter, I proceeded to visit Morobo County with a stopover at Panyume, then followed by Yei River County, Lanya County, Wonduruba, Administrative Payam, Derkeka, and Juba counties, as well as Juba City Council, to acquaint myself with the condition of our people. I was accompanied by cabinet members and some members of this August House. In this regard, I want to extend my profound gratitude to the people of Central Equatoria State for warm reception accorded to me and the accompanying delegation. I'm truly humbled by the level of generosity and confidence they have bestowed upon my government. It is imperative to bring to the attention of this August House that our people are in need of lasting peace for sustainable development. I witness the urgent need for farm implements, schools, healthcare services, clean drinking water, roads, just to mention a few. As all of you are aware, most of the social service infrastructure were destroyed by the war, which brought about our people to square one. It is against this background that I reiterate the firm resolve of the government to continue with the intervention to restore the dignity of our people in all aspects. I'm equally grateful to my cabinet, this August House, the security agencies, and partners for their concerted efforts in the implementation of the RCs at the level of the state. Your selfless commitment has enabled us to significantly reap the gains of the revitalized peace agreement by restoring relative peace and stability that has opened avenues for socio-economic recovery. Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable members, to attain good governance in contemporary era, most governments have digitalized their functions. The analog management of function of a government is associated with deficiencies and inefficiencies. As such, we have adopted the establishment of e-government to digitalize services offered by the state government to our citizens. The system allows public to register for services and access information on the state activities on a digital, interactive, and proficient platform. The implementation of the e-government will promote citizens' participation, transparency, accountability, efficiency in service delivery. We are committed to strengthen the capacity of our institutions, public workforce, enforce rule of law. In addition to the retention of the 40% of the state revenue accrued from local government, the state has injected financial resources for the rehabilitation and construction and furnish of government offices. rehabilitation and construction and furnishing of government offices, premises, which include ministries, commissions, and local governments, and this is also in contribution together with our partners. 1. Renovated the office of the governor, deputy governor, and the meeting hall at the state government secretariat. 2. Constructed office block in the Ministry of Labor, Public Service, and Human Resource Development. Completing the renovation of office building in the Ministry of General Education and Instructions. We have ongoing construction of G+2 office building at the Ministry of Animal Resources and Fisheries and Tourism. We have also an ongoing construction of G+1 office building for the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Investment. We also have ongoing construction of G+1 office building for the Ministry of Roads and Bridges. Renovation and furnishing of offices in the Ministry of Land, Housing and Public Utilities. Renovation of office blocks in the Ministry of Gender, Social Welfare supported by our partners. Renovated and furnished the Ministry of Health. Completing the renovation of EBC radio and TV studios. Renovated the Office of Relief and Rehabilitation Commission supported by our partners. Renovated office block of Investment Authority and Corporation. Renovated the office block of Insurance Regulatory Authority. And soon we are commencing a building actual for this institution. Completed the construction of G+1 Lanya local government, county, council headquarters. Ongoing construction of G+2 Juba county, local government, county headquarters. Ongoing renovation of Kajukeji local government, county headquarters. And all of you are aware this county headquarters was blown up and we are fixing it to look much more better. Ongoing construction of Lobono Payam headquarters. Ongoing renovation of Otogo Payam office block. Ongoing renovation of Gurumbi and Kimba Payam headquarters. Construction of police stations in Kupera, Liria, Lanya counties. Construction of commissioners resident, of course in Lanya. Construction of Morobo County Customary Code and Mugo Customary Code. And actually, we have also started renovation of Ondruba, Payam administrative headquarters, where they have just indicted the money. This is before, Mr. Speaker, this speech was written. In addition to rehabilitation and construction and furnishing of offices, the government has procured vehicles and motor bikes to ease mobility of staff in various institutions. I want to assure the August House plans are underway for procurement of additional vehicles and motorbikes, as well as renovation and construction of government offices. It includes the challenge you have just mentioned here, Mr. Speaker. Right, honorable members, we have ensured that our workforce receives training to enhance the effective capacities towards service delivery. The government is also committed to improve their welfare and resolved to undertake general promotion and the adjustment of grades of civil servants in all institutions in the state. On the other hand, there is ongoing process of retired civil servants who were pensioned during the Sudan government for settlement of their dues. In the area of rule of law, the government shall restore the powers of the traditional authorities by reviving and strengthening the Council of Traditional Authority Leaders, known as COTAL, to promote peace, unity, harmony, and cultural heritage in our communities, and to enhance the rule of law. The state government planned to procure cars for the paramount chiefs and motorbikes for head chiefs and executive chiefs across the state to ease their mobility in execution of their mandates. In fulfillment of this, I have directed the Ministry of Local Government and Law Enforcement to urgently convene a chiefs conference which aims to consolidate peace, unity among our citizens in the state. Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, security stabilization and peace building is one of the key pillars of our government. As alluded to earlier, our state is emerging from fears of imposed roaming of armed cattle herders, presence of hollow groups, land grabbing, economic hardships, urban crimes, border encroachment, drug abuse, and bad feeder roads and etc. The state government is on track in addressing these challenges in order to achieve sustainable peace through embarking on inclusive grassroots dialogue, peace, and reconciliation initiatives, which are yielding fruits throughout the communities. In this regard, I'm grateful to inform the Honorable Aga's House that there is tremendous improvement in civil-military relations. Court-martial to try soldiers who or armed civilians suspected of crimes has kicked off, and actually I want to announce that in Yei, the court-martial is there. Previously, they tried some soldiers. Grassroots dialogues, reconciliation, conferences, and workshops, and training on peace building have continued to rebuild trust, confidence, and peaceful coexistence among our civil population and the army. To sustain the momentum, we have formed peace committees at the level of the local government administration. The mandate of the committees is to sensitize the community on peace building and implementation of the RRCs in line with the roadmap and to ensure peaceful coexistence. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member, on the security threats imposed by the armed cattle herders, my government has exerted concerted efforts to ensure that they return to areas of their origin. As stated earlier, I personally visited some of the scenes of the Guru's